Reddit, what's the best white elephant gag gift that you've ever seen? My aunt once gave my mom a framed photo she had taken at the zoo of two tortoises freaking. My mom did what anyone would have done and hung it up on the wall behind the toilet for everyone to see. That was a good 10 or so years ago and my mom has moved twice since receiving it and still hangs it up behind the toilet. Someone had a photo of a very hungover guy's face, blown up, enlarged, and wrapped it up. This guy was also currently in the room and by chance happened to pick this gift, so he unwrapped a photo of himself. A 1970s paperback nudist camp directory of the US. The most entertaining was a brand new and opened toilet seat, mainly because there was an older guy there that needed one and was in trouble with his wife because he kept forgetting to get one at the store. I work at a prominent lingerie store, and dude, had a guy come in and ask for a gift card with no money on it for his buddy. Convinced him to put $1 on the card because the fact that he put thought into it is much funnier. One year my uncle got stuck with a brick, which his wife made him get stuck with. So, to take his revenge he buckled the brick into the front passenger seat and made her ride in the back with their daughter. Every year since then, the brick always comes back, and whoever had it last year signs and dates it. A framed and mounted taxidermied mouse skin, son head and feet, complete with a tag with the Latin name. During the white elephant my son watched that thing like a hawk and as soon as he unwrapped his gift he traded it for the mouse. He was the happiest 6-year-old in the room. A fully wrapped bucket of chicken from KFC. For Christmas in 1983 I received a book with the title 99 Reasons the World Will End in 1980. We had one manager called Simon that should never ever have been allowed to manage a team. He was a bumbler, didn't know the job, didn't know how to motivate people and was just awful. Nice guy outside work, but clearly out of his depth. I need you to picture this guy in your mind. He's overweight, balding, glasses and peeking out from the collar of his shirt is an overwhelming amount of chest back hair. It's like he's got a jumper attached to his skin. I opened my present in front of the office. It was a jigsaw of one of Simon's private holiday photos, topless, in a pool with a dolphin. Emblazoned across it was Merry Christmas, love from Simon XXX. I opened it to a bit of general hilarity from those around me. I smiled, despite the slight nausea, and held it up. Guess I figured out who my secret Santa is then. Thanks Simon, I think. What? I didn't buy that. I got Dave. Who the fricks got hold of my photos? I still to this day do not know who bought that gift. My wife got a giant rubber dong one year. She was afraid to use it, so it became a bracelet holder in our bedroom. I recently just went to my first white elephant party, but I thought this was entertaining. So presents had been picked, a few steals here or there but nothing too crazy. The next guy goes and unwraps a cheap Bluetooth speaker that plays lights to the music. The next person steals his speaker and then hands him another box. He unwraps it to find one of those phone VR rigs. He's pumped about it until someone else comes and steals it and hands him a tiny present that is the exact size and shape of a candy bar. As a passing joke the guy, now opening his third present, says, "Man, I hope this isn't a vibe." Haha. He unwraps it and sure enough it was a Snickers bar. No wait, it says stick it in hers and then he realizes it's a carrying case for the vibe that's inside. Crap was hilarious. Grandmother-in-law gave my dad combs for a number of years. He'd maintained a shaved head since before he got married to my mom. They weren't for his head, you simpleton. My older brother made a mixtape for some Christmas party where they were playing White Elephant. He chose 10 Radiohead songs to write down for the track list but instead put Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley 10 times. People at the party fought hard for this CD and whoever won it didn't realize it until at least the drive home. A few years back my father-in-law lost the tip of his finger when trying to fix a garage door. They were able to save it and it was given away at our family white elephant exchange. Now that was messed up, but the following year the uncle that had won it brought it back. This time though it was encased in resin and placed in a shadow box with text saying "You've been given the finger." My father-in-law won it again and now refuses to put it back into the gift exchange. I witnessed a co-worker receive a subscription to Pornhub and a box of tissues in the middle of a busy office. Lucky bastard. Last year I received a trashy romance novel called Pleasing Her Seal. Double entendre on point. Dude was a Navy SEAL. But, bonus, the gift giver also figured out all the information he needed to subscribe me to the book club. So the real surprise came a month later, when I received 3 more trashy novels at my doorstep, and the next month, until I had to call them and cancel, I now have a collection of smut. Dude brought a huge box, like big enough for a dorm refrigerator plus packing material. It was wrapped and had a bow on top, but the top was bulging a bit, and every so often it seemed to move on its own. When the package was finally unwrapped, it was revealed that the box had not been taped shut. The flaps parted to release a bunch of helium balloons which rose slowly toward the ceiling, carrying a very large pair of red, silk, women's panties beneath them. My mum once found a crappy little charm bracelet in the street in Ireland, in the gutter, covered in mud. She cleaned it, wrapped it up and gave it to my brother's fiancée for Christmas that year. Now, every year, they gift it back to each other every Christmas. This has been going on for nearly 10 years. Bottle of MD20/20, can of squirt cheese, and store brand saltines, like a poor man's wine and cheese set. I know a guy who melted off all a candle's wax and poured it into a separate container, then wrapped the wick in hair, leaving just the top unwrapped, then poured the wax back in and let it solidify, making sure to liquefy it once more in order to flatten the top. Then the gift came up and many people wanted this candle, thinking it to smell very good. They used the candle and were met with the smell of burning hair. The guy sent me the texts he got about this gift. One year my cousins went to the Goodwill dumpsters and picked out the rejects. Everything was torn and stained and gross. They then wrapped them and put them under the tree to other family members with from grandma. So people are opening these awful gifts and are saying, "Oh, great, thank you." She wasn't paying attention, so she just kept saying, "You're welcome and I'm glad you like it." They thought she was losing her mind until a while later when the cousins couldn't contain themselves anymore and confessed. Grandma was mad. Those pervy Japanese Steam games, IDKY, but my friend just sent me one and signed it "Merry Christmas you disappointment." The most depressing one I've heard about is when my boyfriend, as a kid, received a scratch lottery ticket packaged in a PlayStation box. Obviously, he didn't win anything. Last year, I gave a book titled How to Traumatize Your Children, 7 Proven Methods to Help You Screw Up Your Kids Deliberately and with Skill. A brand new and open copy of Windows 95 in 2014. Track notes for a girl who drives a Prius. T-shirt that has in bold letters "World's Best Dad" and underneath that it says "Semi-finalist, H.T. Anthony Jeselnik." Perfect for gay dads. One is the best, the other is just a finalist. Those kinda surprise eggs contain their toy in a small yellow plastic container. As we sold those eggs in our clubhouse, this was a good source of income for the club. I was able to collect a large trash bag full of them over the year. The kids who knew that I was collecting those empty containers even brought some from home. I selected a gift for a good friend of mine, put it in a box, chained it shut, and locked it with a padlock. Then I put one of the keys in one of those plastic containers. I handed him the box and the large bag, and he groaned. We sat down with some friends, and he took them out of one bag, gave them a shake to find out which would rattle, and put them in a second bag, while we were having some drinks and cake. When he emptied the bag, he was a bit annoyed, as he assumed that I had just not put a key in there. His face fell when I told him that I expected him to just shake them. So of course I had padded the key in a bit of cotton wool to avoid rattling noises. So he had to open each and every of those little containers to actually look inside. My family has a white elephant rob your neighbor party every year. We have a tradition that's fairly morbid that we started some years back. My cousin's grandma, not sure what that makes her to me, passed away years ago, and her prosthetic leg was never thrown out, trashed, donated, whatever. About 5 years ago, her prosthetic leg in a plain pantyhose, singular leg, IDK whatever, and grandma's shoe became a gift at our white elephant party as one of my cousins thought it would be funny. My brother was the first to get it. Needless to say, everyone was in tears from laughter. It was immediately a hit. Now it comes back every year. As a family we try to trick each other or get it to a newcomer, significant other, or someone that has not attended the white elephant party before. It's always hilarious. The most clever year was as follows. The third year of the leg, someone put a small clock and a Mr. Potato Head leg in a small box to disguise it. People were avoiding the boxes that could potentially hold what is now deemed the leg. When that person opened the box containing the two previously mentioned items, they were confused. Then after a minute the culprit announced it's time for the leg. Everyone died laughing. He brought it out and laughter erupted again. He had removed the original pantyhose and replaced it with a fishnet legging. I look forward to this party every year. I've never been a victim of the leg though. I'm a pretty vocal disliker of Minions, so last year one of my friends gave me a whole bunch of Minion crap. A Minion blanket, a Minion plush, Minion hand sanitizer, you name it. I was in 5th grade, and my class was having a Secret Santa gift exchange. I have long forgotten what I gave, and who I gave it to, but I will remember my gift forever. I received an extremely large box which seemed to be packed tight. I couldn't feel anything shit inside, but it was fairly light, so I opened it, and there was a smaller gift wrapped box. Again, no shifting, and opened this box to find another box inside. There were a further several boxes, one inside each other. Finally, the last box, the size of a cigarette pack. I opened that box, and there was a red 57 Chevy Matchbox car. I found out who gave me the car, and we became friends after that. 40 years later, I still have that Matchbox. A custom-made CD, entitled We Whistle You a Merry Christmas. Dude recorded himself whistling along to a dozen cheesy Christmas karaoke tracks. Of course, he was an amazingly terrible whistler. Artist photos were included in an insert, which had him posing awkwardly in horrible Christmas sweaters. He spared no expense. One year we wrapped up half my uncle's wardrobe individually and presented it to him as if they were gifts of new clothes. It was fun watching him do the whole fake surprise thing, and then see him grow skeptical, and then realize what is going on. He proceeded to have to unwrap everything so that he could put it back. My family played Dirty Santa one year and the budget was $3. I bought a $50 gift card, spent $47 off of it, and that was my gift. Co-worker told me he bought his brother Winro for his birthday. My boss got my name in Secret Santa. We didn't really get along very well and would prank each other a lot. When it came time to open presents at the staff party, I could see him out of the corner of my eye rubbing his grubby little hands together. Anyway, I opened the gift and it turned out to be a giant jar of olives, which I happen to love. He was so deflated after I defiantly opened my jar of olives and started eating them. My gift was a banana that was wrapped in 20 layers of boxes. There were cement bricks in it to make it heavy, so I assumed it was some sort of electronic. Our office to Secret Santa every year. It's a small company with about 30 employees, so we know each other pretty well. Our financial controller had only been working with us for about a month before Christmas, so we didn't know him all that well before Secret Santa. The girl who got his name bought him an abacus. It was so simple, but so genius. Someone I know obtained one of every dish from the dining court and gave it away as a gift. I once received a Rubik's Cube as a gift, except with all of the colored stickers removed. Needless to say, it was the easiest Rubik's Cube I have ever solved. Not the best, but I still have a large stack of AOL discs that I give out in things like this. We stole this guy's jacket and wrapped it up real nice and gave it to him. When he opened it he was like, "Neat, I have a jacket just like this." For the White Elephant gift exchange at my office several years ago, I brought a coffee mug that I had custom made online that had a picture of my face on it, with a huge smile and 2 thumbs up. Everyone loved it. It was the funniest gift that year. To add to the hilarity, all throughout the year the guy that got the mug drank out of it every day. 1 year later at the next gift exchange is where the mug reached legendary status. At that exchange, a co-worker opened another custom-made picture mug, but I hadn't made this one. It was made by the guy who had won my mug the year prior. The mug had a close-up picture of the guy who won my custom mug last year, holding the mug I had made, with the picture of me clearly visible, Inception style. Everyone in my office was straight up crying. They were laughing so hard. It couldn't have worked out better. There are now 3 mugs in total, hoping we make it to 4. If anyone sees this post buried down here, I highly recommend stealing this one and trying it out. We had a cat clock that had a different cat on each hour and a mouse that traveled around as the second hand. There was also a switch which would cause the clock to meow on the hour. Every year someone would get this thing and rewrap it the next year in an unidentifiable way so someone else would get saddled with it the next year. This was a yearly ritual until someone in radiology got the clock. Hospital party. Now the clock is on the wall in the room where they do CAT scans. We passed around a bowling ball. Someone new got to take it home every year and put it back in the next year for 10 years. You have been visited by the money frog. He says frog money to get $200 on the street. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.